I'm in Phoenix.
And I'm in the Philippines. And together, we're Phil's to Phoenix.
We're Phil's to Phoenix.
2 countries.
1 heart! And welcome to our
chikka-chikka.
Chikka-chikka. It's an extended chikka-chikka, right? The last time we did a chikka-chikka was like a month ago. I mean, more than a month ago, so.
Yeah, it was just before we left, and we've been gone. Well, I've been gone 30-some days.
Yeah.
And we were going to try and do some chikka-chikka in this format while we were here, but things just happened and life happened and it just didn't happen. So, but the biggest reason why we kind of wanted to try and do this was to give an example of literally how we wind up communicating when we first met and then whenever we're not in the same room or country. But the biggest news is
you're coming back in the U.S. here in Phoenix. That's I know for sure.
That I've got a flight booked for Sunday morning here and land in Phoenix on Sunday evening.
Yep.
That although this communication is really cool and great, it's not the same thing as being next to you.
Aw, yeah, you're right.
And yes, you're in school and a lot of your time is taken up with school, and we really don't have a lot of time together, but we do have time in each other's presence was something that we really didn't think about.
Yeah, we didn't realize that. I thought I could just handle the anxiety, separation anxiety.
And
well,
there's a lot of little things that we never really thought about either, because like you say, just cooking meals for you, being able to take you shopping, just a lot of little things that got overlooked. And 30, 60 days is about the max that I think we'd ever want to be apart like this.
Yeah, but not 6 months.
Yeah, that was kind of pushing it. And that since I was going to be changing location anyhow, we figured let's just change location and head back to Phoenix.
Yeah.
But this is a message. This is how couples communicate before they get in the same country, and we communicated this way for what?
6 months.
August, September, October, November, December, January. We communicated this way 6 months before we ever met in person.
Yeah. They told me it's 6 months. I didn't count it because I know it's 6 months.
I should have taken the comment of the accountant, shouldn't I? Yeah, because we had 6 months like this. We had 3 weeks together in January.
Uh-oh.
And then 4 months?
Yeah.
Yeah, then about 4 months, not quite 4 months, back to this before you got the K-1 visa to come to the States.
Yep.
So most of our relationship building time was actually done this way.
I agree. It's just more of commitment of chatting, sending messages, talking to each other, getting to know. It's building trust in that relationship.
And that's a huge thing right there, is doing that in that way, because we actually had that list of 100 questions that the marriage ministry gave that we answered one a day by email.
Yeah.
And actually, this connection is a really good, stable connection. Although I'm not entirely sure what that sound in the background is. But a lot of times, especially when you were first in the province, when you were down in Savonga, when we first quote met, that connection was absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
And even when you got back to Manila, and after a month or so that I got you that pocket Wi-Fi, there were a lot of days the connections wasn't terribly great.
Mm-mm.
And most of my time I was actually talking on the computer, that I didn't understand or recognize you were actually just using a little tiny iPod to chat on.
Yes, I do.
And some guys have a little bit better setup, that I'm just using the camera and microphone that's on the computer and the speakers that are on the computer. So.
And I'm using a tiny iPod Touch. As long as I have internet, we're good. And then I have Facebook Messenger, I'm good. I can contact you. It was good, and just reminiscing the past, bringing back memories, like sending pictures where you go, sending pictures, everything, every single moment, because you just started to get to know each other. It actually built the trust fast and quick, because, it's not like, sometimes it's like every single minute, or, like, this is what I'm doing, and this is what I'm doing. This is like, remember those times, like, work, you wake up early, and then, you work, you show me the pictures, what you're doing, and you showed me pictures of what you're eating, and you showed me pictures of your your work needs, and then that's your typical Monday to Friday, and after you got work, you showed me come home, and then we started talking, and even to the fact that even if you're watching movies, you will put your camera or your phone and just watch the series that you like. So that's one thing that I guess that builds the trust of me. And then if you go to your weekends, you normally go to the church, and you show me the friends that you with, and you show me, it's just because you're starting to build the trust, and I just realized today that it's amazing, especially for the people out there that they have the long distance relationship like what we did. Some people take so quick, 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, and when they see each other, they get married right away or file a fiancé visa, because I guess the key is communication and the transparency and the honesty in the beginning of the relationship, right?
And we did a lot of that, and just because of the time differences, like when you were going to work, I was going to bed. And so, you'd
right now the time here is 11:12 p.m. in the evening.
The time here in Manila is 2:12 p.m. But there's between Phoenix and Manila, or Arizona and Philippines, there's a 15-hour time difference. So when we were first building the relationship, you'd call and wake me up about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning to get ready for work, and we'd chat for half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour, whatever we had time for. and then I'd take off and head to work, and you'd go to bed. By the time I got home, it was getting close to waking you up, and I'd normally get dinner ready and then call you to wake you up to get you going for your work day, and we'd chat for 20 minutes, an hour, for whatever we had time for.
Yeah.
And then, like you say, that when you were at work and I was sleeping, you'd send pictures of different things and stuff like that, what you were doing. And so I'd wake up and there'd be 5, 10, 20 pictures in my messenger. And the same, on the opposite end, when I was at work, you were sleeping, and I'd do the same thing, that a lot of the coworkers, or what we were doing that day, or I believe there was one of those microbursts that you've seen, that kind of like a little mini hurricane that goes through. I believe one of those happened while we were doing that, and I sent you 30, 50, maybe 100 pictures that day. And you were asked, it created questions for you. What was that? You didn't think we had hurricanes, and it opened up a line of chat to kind of explain to you what it was and what they were. That they weren't really hurricanes, but they and just allowed you to ask questions and gave you information to ask about. And it's the same thing before I came to the Philippines. You sent pictures of trikes and jeepneys and stuff like that I'd never seen before, and I asked questions about them and learned things and began to understand what the Philippines was and what the culture you were brought up in was.
Yeah.
And in a way, it's kind of neat starting a relationship this way, because a lot of, especially American relationships, that they wind up getting physical very quickly, and they don't allow time to build a foundation of understanding and knowledge about the other person. Whereas this kind of precludes any real physical relationship building, and it focuses entirely on learning about the person and knowing the person and finding out what they like, what they don't like, what they've experienced, what they haven't. And so that in that respect, it's kind of cool, but by the same token, it's kind of limited because you don't have any physical contact. Okay, it's your turn to talk now.
I was carried away. How are you? I feel like I already talked so much a while ago. But yeah, anyways, it's by using this communication, I will say we're so grateful and thankful that modern technology exists, not just writing snail mail.
That how Paul and Marlene and some of these other couples did this relationship building before the internet was kind of mind-boggling to me on how they pulled it off and actually made it work.
Yeah, I agree. And I know some people that they do snail mail. And so it's pretty interesting to know, how their relationship lasted for 30 years and 40 years. It's inspiring. And yes, we're getting stronger. We're on our 4 years, and I'm just so excited that you're coming back. That's for sure.
Well, the one thing that absolutely had to be done, I did manage to get accomplished with your help before you left, and then after that, it was just a waiting game, and that's getting that ACRI card. That I do have that. I am now officially a non-immigrant permanent resident of the Philippines, so that I can come and go to the Philippines pretty much freely without any problems like that. But every January, I need to be within the first 60 days of the new year, basically January, February, I need to be at a Bureau of Immigration office here in the Philippines somewhere and doing annual reporting. And it's like 310 pesos. When I get back, I'm going to sit down and create a 13A visa video that goes from start to finish, because there was a lot of interesting happenings, and I'm probably going to have you on that because I want to get you helped a lot getting through the Bureau of Immigration part of it, getting that ACR card, which was the main part of the visa. That it's not a stamp in your passport, it's a card that you carry, kind of like a green card. Except this one's like kind of like brown or gold or something like that. So
That's kind of gold.
But it allows me to come and go like us without you, and I don't have to have return ticket when I come in. I can come in on a one-way ticket. I don't have to go renew it every 30 days like a lot of the guys do. And so it just works out a little bit smoother and easier for future use. The drawback is I wind up paying the exit tax just like a Filipino, the same exit tax as a Filipino would. So.
Well, welcome to the Philippines, that's for sure.
Now, why don't you have to pay to get out of America since you got your green card?
Well, I didn't pay it because I already a permanent card where I have permanent residence here in the U.S., so.
But
we are interesting, that's for sure.
Yes, it is. But
it's like if you wish something, then God will just, you never know. So, interesting.
But
right?
I'm going to let you get to sleep because it's got to be coming up on midnight.
Yep.
And, yeah, doing this because of the time difference, you can kind of plan on a lot of really early mornings and really late nights sometimes chatting because of these time differences. And somebody's been waking me up about 4 o'clock in the morning so I could talk with them at their lunch break while I've been gone the last couple weeks. So. And that's the advantage of Facebook Messenger. You can kind of entertain yourself while you're talking to.
Oh, I do like that.
Oh, from the movie Up.
Yeah. Oh, that's a cute. That's the one. Oh, that's so cute. That's so cute. That's so cute.
Actually, I thought that kind of looked like something out of a horror flick.
That is so pretty.
You need to get wire rim glasses.
This one. Oh no, I don't like it. Oh. Oh, it's okay. Let's go. Sorry. I don't wanna. Okay.
Someone got distracted.
Thank you so much.
But thank you for watching.
Mabuhay.
Mabuhay.